All right, so just to finish up this Donovan Sharpe, Rollo Tomassi kind of critique, um, what really prompted me to talk about it was listening to Donovan Sharpe, and I like listening to Donovan Sharpe because he's great in his what he does for the manosphere community, the red pills he's dropping. That's all great. The problem that I have is his answer, and I think that it's going to give a lot of false hope to a lot of men, um, because I just don't agree with his answer, and that's okay. It's okay for me to agree to disagree with his answer to all the problems. That's perfectly fine. I don't see it as a viable solution. Meaning, if you, and I do have a problem with this program because it's just so cringy, it's so greasy. But like I said, I really like him because it tears at me because he's so good in dropping the truth bombs, and his videos are so good. But he has this program that he's selling, which is basically, training your woman to be the type of woman you want her to be, or to train her. And it's like, I'm sure it's great in what it is, but I think that what it is fundamentally in error. I think that you shouldn't train a woman how to behave, because that if that's my only option, let's put it this way, if that's my only option, if my two options are to do that, train a woman, or to simp and be blue pilled and play into hypergamy, you know, then I'm going to choose neither, man. And I do think that, Pua pickup artistry is playing into hypergamy because you're improving yourself in order to impress a woman, and that's what hypergamy is. Hypergamy is a woman wanting to be with an improved man, wanting to be with a man who is, better than other men, and that's how you get the woman, is you increase your value, increase your self-worth, increase your sexual market value and your relationship market value as a man by improving. And I'm not saying that that doesn't work. I'm simply saying that you're not going to beat hypergamy that way, and you're not going to find real love that way. You're going to find a woman who likes you for the improved version of yourself. But if you've ever been through a down spell in your life, if you've ever been through real shit in your life, like having to make a major change at age 30 and rearrange your entire life, and sometimes that requires ditching a lot of things that we used to have. Sometimes that requires an overhaul of our life, and I've done that, a couple times. And it requires sometimes the loosening up of certain things so you can change and grow in certain areas. When you're cutting trees, for example, or you're cutting foliage, etc., you sometimes cut in a certain way that allows the tree to grow back better or more beautiful, right? It can be the same way for us. But when you do that, if you cut certain things away and she's no longer attracted to you, that's a problem, you see. So this is what that is like. That's like building up these nice flowers, or building up these nice trees, or etc., of our personality, or our social worth, our social circle, etc. All the things that Pua teaches guys, your character, your humor, etc., etc., right? Take those things away, is she still going to love you? That's the question of questions. How deep is her love? And that's my ultimate issue with a lot of this stuff, with a lot of this sort of red pill slash Pua stuff, is it plays into that. Now, I do appreciate these guys for their red pilling. Rollo Tomassi, Richard Cooper, Donovan Sharpe. I appreciate these guys as the forefront leaders who are red pilling men, and doing it in a wonderfully articulate and strong way. I appreciate the hell out of that. What I don't appreciate is the answer. And part of that is the acceptance of the red pill, and this is something they believe. Now, see, I look at the red pill as a transient truth, as a truth that is true, but it might not necessarily be concrete forever. We can change things. We can change society. We might not be able to change female nature, Maybe. But we can change how they react to us and things like that. So if we walk away, if we put our foot down and say, no, I have standards, no, I'm not going to play into your hypergamy, no, I'm not going to do this and that, then hopefully they'll adapt. What I believe is a major problem is we do not give women accountability in the West. They do not have accountability for their actions. Their actions are excused. They are given lighter sentences. They are, people go to their defense, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's basically boils down to women are treated as grown children. Women do not have the same social, personal responsibilities that men do. Women are not held to the same standards, even though feminism talks a big game. The truth is they don't pull their weight when it comes to responsibility, social, personal, and otherwise, or accountability, social, personal, and otherwise. Right? So these are things that we can tangibly change and say, hey, wait a minute, no, I'm not gonna give you a pussy pass. It's not gonna be okay just because you're cute and you got a nice body and you got a nice ass and I want your pussy. No, I have standards and you're gonna live up to my standards or else you're gonna hit the road. The problem is too many men, they can always fall back on a simp. They can always fall back on a beta. They can always fall back on a male enabler who's going to tell them their shit doesn't stink. They can always fall back on that. And that's why women say, oh, I don't need a man. Technically, they kind of don't. They don't need a real man, in a sense.